Whatever that's happening,
well,
whatever that's happening is very interesting to me. You know, like I heard the story, I was like, hey,
very startling revelation. But these are allegations. We won't sit here and say that we can't authenticate the veracity or otherwise of what was said in court. I mean, and also for the very fact that that case is in court, we cannot comment so much on it, and so yeah, would let it rest at that. We are would be on standby to see how this unfolds. But let's look at the front pages of the various newspapers. I'm going to be starting with the Ghanaian Observer newspaper. Ambulance trial, Attorney General rubbishes NDC's claim, and GRASML saga, Akufo-Addo gets praise over release of KPMG report. But what we also know is that the Parliament of Ghana, they have decided, I've forgotten the name of the committee though, but they are going to do an independent investigation into the SML deal. Right. President Okay's use Gateway Office and GMA Twellium Industrial Support 8 hospitals. Housing Minister engages banks over National Home Ownership Fund. And so so there you have it, the stories on the front page of the Ghanaian Observer newspaper.
Now let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper, as the front page captures government telesign emissions reduction purchase agreement. Our partner TUC for better worker salaries. New Force Movement founder assures. Ghana CD depreciation bites hard. Businesses call for urgent intervention. Esikado Kenten, Dr. Dankwa Dares Bisu for seat. And here are stories featuring on this morning's edition of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Now,
onto the Insight. There aren't many newspapers better than the Insight newspaper. Onto this edition, the front page, Adamus Mining Resources Saga. Lands Minister must explain failure to comply with court orders on IMC. Solomon Owusu. And this is something that I 100% agree with. It beats mine. I cannot for the life of me understand why the court would issue a directive that you should set up a committee, asks you to bring your representatives. You fail to do so, but then of course there's still a quorum, so the IMC is formed, and you continue to defy the orders of the court, and you even extend beyond your remit by preventing the IMC from going about their duties. I don't understand why. And it appears that everybody is silent on this matter. So what underhand dealing has gone on for people in authority to be silent on the flagrant disregard of the court's orders? Why? What at all is going on?
And that is outrightly some level of disrespect
towards
the judicial system.
That is contempt.
And it's going to, be something that others are also going to learn. Like, I mean, if you're not abiding by the court's orders, then I can also do as I please. Then we are not respecting the judicial system as we should.
Exactly. So if an interim management committee has been constituted by a court, and you continue to defy the orders of the court by preventing the interim management committee from having even access to the offices, and this is disregarded.
Yes. And it is not too remote from concluding that this is politically motivated.
Of course it is politically motivated, because if me, Bless Alomaso, here on TV, I disrespect the court, I'll be held. I'll be held in front
of... It's contempt.
And Charlie, my punishment will be swift. People in high places have that, freedom to actually flagrantly disregard the law, disrespect the law. Yeah. And then they go scot-free. Nothing is done about it. Like, how? How is that? So this is something I side with. I'm on.
It should be criminalized.
I'm on all sides with Solomon Owusu for saying that Lands Minister must explain the failure to comply with court orders on the IMC. Also, AG impressed on me to falsify my testimony to implicate Ato Forsen. Witness tells court dark days in Ghana as another Nkrumah legacy is erased. Genocide in Gaza. U.S. officials threaten sanctions over ICC warrants against Netanyahu and Gallant. Okay, right? And so these are the stories on today's edition of the front page of the Inside newspaper. Grab a copy at any newspaper stand for just 4 Ghana cedis.
Let's do the Independent newspaper. They say fair, firm, and balanced. On the top left, you have Hobson Adoye granted 20k bail. Adjoining Ghana lands atone tenancy to Nungwastu. Residents advised. SML owes GRA 31.88 million Ghana cedis in taxes. Alan MFC supporters solidarize with Hobson Adoye, and also press freedom under attack. Ghanaians unhappy. Here are stories on today's edition of the Independent newspaper.
Now let's proceed to the Daily Guide newspaper. AG fires NDC. I'm not persecuting Ato Forsen. Samira to launch World Share Expo 2024. No VAT deductions on SML payments. That's according to KPMG. And Hobson Adoye gets 20k bail. And so, right, these are the stories on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. On the back page, though, very interesting stories there. Some sports there. Leverkusen unbeaten run ends in Europa League final. Barca iron Flick. If yes, so rumors have that Barcelona, they are eyeing Hansi Flick. And also, GFA Foundation launches prisons project today. Qatar supports sports ministry. Qatar supports sports ministry. Yep. In some unrelated sports issues too, though, or let me say related actually. So the manager of Burnley, hey, why have I forgotten this guy's name? So Burnley's manager, he actually won the championship, came to the English Premiership, and then was unable to stand the heat, and so his team has been relegated. They are in the relegation now, or they've been relegated now, and then they've gone back to the championship. But that coach is going to become the coach of Bayern Munich. I don't understand why that is, but that's football, and that is perhaps the biggest upgrade of any coach that we've seen in the history of football. From championship to the premiership, back to the championship as a relegated side, and then now from the championship straight to Bayern Munich. That is like a surprise for me. Surprise for me. Right. What papers more do you have there? Now
let's move on to the Daily Statesman newspaper. AG never coerced accused person in ambulance case. Bold efforts against deforestation. Government seals emissions reduction purchase deal with Tallow. Ghana mobilizes $405,000 to combat obstetric fistula. Asante Hene urges SIGA, SIGA, to review mandate of SOEs to inform action. And here are stories on today's edition of the Daily Statesman newspaper.
Right, so that's all for the papers. You have any more papers?
Yes, I have here, finally, the Republic Press. Usually when I mention the Republic Press, I remember that I'm from the Ashanti region. So I'm very, very careful.
Yes, the Republic Press.
The Republic Press newspaper says, GH Netherlands ink cocoa deal. Children between age 6 and 14 to get Ghana cards from June 10. Residents outraged over transfer of Jarapa Dubai murder case to Kumasi. Will challenge police injunction in court. Hashtag Doom Summer Stop Vigil organizers. Hobson Adoye hot granted bail over dynamite claims. And finally, crossfire in court as AG faces off with accused. And here are stories on today's edition of the Republic Press.
Right, so that's all for the papers. Let's go for a quick turnaround Once we return, we shall be looking at a very, very topical issue. The running mate conundrum as far as the New Patriotic Party is concerned. So, I'll bring you details of that after this short break. Do stay.
The law is pertinent to every aspect of our lives, and so lawyers must not be the backup plan for the rainy day only.
Nothing received from a client should be put in a lawyer's personal account until such time that the money has actually been earned.
It is very dangerous to perpetuate the theory that it is narcotics that leads to crime increase.
The relevance of the law cuts across our business, social, and family transactions. Doubt this?
You can't borrow from somebody who's your client. That would lead to a conflict situation. And that's something that as a lawyer you must jealously guard when you are representing a client.
You have to register your Mohammedan marriage within 7 days?
Within a week of the celebration of the marriage.
So if you don't register it, it's not a valid marriage. Journey with our Law Express panel every week as we confirm the place of the law in our everyday transactions.
Under etiquette rules, a lawyer can terminate for non-payment of fees. So basically, if you don't pay your fees, a lawyer has a right to terminate your engagement.
Right, welcome back. It's still Good Morning Africa. This is the newspaper headline segment of the show. We've already run you through the trending stories on the front pages of the various newspapers. Now, we are about to look at a very topical issue over the past few months. Conversation about who partners the leader and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, who doubles as Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, into the 2024 polls. This conversation has been raging on. Well, a few names have popped up with regards to who would bear that mantle. We know that the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, is amongst the names. Also, Education Minister, Dr. Yaosei Duchum, and Chief of Staff, Dr. Frema Osei Opare is also in the mix there. A few others names popped up, but we know
Natoshi as well.
Natoshi though as well. But we know who the front runners are, and these names have frequently popped up since that conversation actually started. Repeatedly, we know for a fact that it's going to rest on either the Education Minister or the Energy Minister. Now, these two are from the Ashanti region. That conversation about place or geography in terms of who the president and who the vice president or the running mate would be is a cogent one, if you ask me. So if you go back in time to the NPP, let's start from the Kufuor era, where he is from the Ashanti region, and his running mate, Dr. Aliyu Mahama, came from northern Ghana. So there's that, you know,
Parity.
yes, parity, if you'd want to say. Then His Excellency, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, from the eastern region, and once more his running mate from the northern region. Now the mantle has now rested on the man from the northern region, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, or the man from northern Ghana, not northern region specifically, but northern Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And so then if the whole geography in terms of politics comes into play, it will be wrong for him to choose somebody from the same place.
Right, absolutely.
You know, ideally that shouldn't be the case, but they look at the influence and the sort of impact that could have on votes in election. And so if we are picking somebody from this side, why don't we pick another person from the south?
Right.
Or if we have somebody from the north, why don't we pick somebody from the south? And that is a very, cogent argument. And so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia from northern Ghana, then whoever partners him should be coming from the south.
So this time around, it's like there's been a cross switch where the trend is that the leaders or the candidates for the presidency are from the Ashanti region, which happens to be the stronghold of the NPP, and their vices are from the northern region.
So not necessarily Ashanti, because
I mean the Akan, enclave.
Exactly.
And then the Akan enclave, which also happens to be a stronghold of the NPP, most of the regions. And the northern region, not so much a stronghold of the NPP, where they have reps from, which based on, I think it's building some form of affinity to, influence the people up there to vote for them as well. So this time around, if the forerunner is from the northern region, I think it's only wise that they pick a candidate who is also from the stronghold of the NPP.
Yes. So a lot of names came up, even including the late Member of Parliament for the AGYEKUM constituency, Dr. John Kumar, but of course is out of the picture.
May his soul rest in peace.
May his soul rest in peace. So we have the two leading candidates for that position, for that slot. We have Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, who is the Education Minister. He was actually deputy to Napo when Napo occupied that position in the first term of this administration. Now he's risen up the ranks. Now he's Education Minister. Napo manages a different ministerial portfolio. He is the Energy Minister. And so a lot of people, especially people who belong to the NPP fraternity, and I wouldn't want to say the neutral Ghanaians, but Ghanaians who would also look at issues and who is standing.
Policy-oriented.
Exactly. Policy-oriented Ghanaians and who look at the person of whoever is standing.
I'm telling you, you see, apart from the fact that some people are die-hard, followers or sympathizers of a certain political party, inherently, when someone is put there for you to make a choice, some part of you consider personality.
Exactly.
Some part of you consider who is this person, what is their track record. How
what are they bringing onto the table?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think it's just a natural phenomenon that people make these kind of concerns or question that who is this person? Why are they? Ghanaians and some of the questions that we ask.
And also, let me say that when you look at past running mates or vice presidential candidates that we've had, even from both sides of the aisle, I can say that mostly they haven't been too politically exposed people. So you look at Bawumia, for instance, who wasn't even a politician to start with. Was working at the Bank of Ghana. Then the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party at the time was very much convinced that this is the person to help me win the 2016 election. And then, I mean, it was axiomatic that if there was any factor that contributed immensely to the NPP's victory in 2016, Bawumia was. He was just that person.
I think
so. The question is, who would be able to fill in that void, or who would be able to fill in Bawumia's shoes? The 2016 Bawumia we knew, who is he also bringing to fill in those shoes? Now he has two people. He has Dr. Yaosei Duchum. He has the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Two very distinguished politicians, if you ask me. But he has to choose just one person. And so,
of course, there can't be a trial in this race.
Both of them come from the Ashanti region. You understand? So the authority they wield, their temperaments, how they appeal to the masses, all of these questions would come to play. And ultimately, the vice president would have to decide that, look, this person has the better temperament. This person has the better track record. This person would better appeal to the Ghanaian people than this person. And so I'm going to go with this person. Now, from where you sit, and I'm going to, would share our independent views and our independent opinions on these two, the energy minister and the education minister. But I want to find out from you. I've had personal interactions, very personal, one-on-one with the education minister. I've not had that opportunity to have any form of interaction with the energy minister, but I've seen videos of him on TV and how he interacts with people. So I could also stand on that and make an informed decision based on these interactions I've had or I have had personally with these two candidates. You understand? So we have videos, by the way. I think they are very popular videos too. The energy minister, when questioned about an issue, Dumso, which is trite knowledge that all of us face. So one of the things that I expected, especially when he was asked that question about when the power crisis was going to end, I expected him to say that, oh, look, I know we have an issue and so and so and so. We are doing this and this and that to resolve it. Just tell us the truth. Tell us what is there. Admit that there is a fault. But whatever the energy minister said is in that video. So let's go take a look at that video where the energy minister, I think he spoke to a journalist and about the Dumso situation, and he actually asked Ghanaians to go make their own timetable if they so believe that there is a power crisis. Let's take a look at that video.
This as a campaign against John Mahama, and now we are experiencing a worse situation under President Akufo-Addo. Would it reflect in the 2024 election? Would it be something that people will stand on to vote?
If you are comparing 4 years, MPP administration, energy sector is 300 times better than John Mahama.
But we are still experiencing Dumso.
Nobody has said we haven't. I'm just saying it's far much better than John Mahama ever did.
You do admit that there's Dumso.
That is the word you used. I have never used that word. I've promised you that we are going to work on it. And it's not a work that is a single event. It's a process. And we'll continue to work on it for the energy sector to become better.
Have you heard of calls for a timetable?
Ask those who want it to bring it.
They should bring the timetable.
If there is, I haven't seen any timetable. So when
people are calling,
I say bring a timetable, what do you mean? The ECG says that there is no timetable coming. Why do you want to bring a timetable? What purpose? Why would somebody get up and wish evil or bad for the country? When it is not planned, you can't tell the person. Were you in Ghana under John Mahama? Did you live in this country under John Mahama? Did you live in this country under John Mahama? Did you? I'm asking a question. Did you live?
It was equally worse.
It cannot be equally worse.
But no, MPP use it as a tool against them.
And I'm saying that even if you are talking about that, it was worse under John Mahama than ever now.
We've gone past the era where we had 72 to 96 days of light out and 6 hours of light on. We are in the era of ACHIAA, which is profoundly different from Dumso. Dumso, as inflicted on Ghanaians, has only happened as characterized His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's governance. He is the only president on record that for 4 years that he reigned, for 4 years that he ruled, for 4 years that he governed, there was doom.
All the heads of state or presidents in the history of this country have suffered Dumso. Even President Kufuor's era, they had to import toy generators from outside under Kofi Addo, Honorable Kofi Addo. But President John Mahama was bold enough, humble enough, and took responsibility and said he was going to solve it. And he did solve it.
Thank you very much.
President Mahama left office, we have excess capacity. President Mahama is the only president in the history of this country who has solved
it. See the impeccability, the nonchalance. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just seated there.
And I do not understand why he was so defensive, because accountability is a right of every Ghanaian.
Yeah.
If you're put in public office and you are questioned about the progress of that sector, you are questioned about the defects, the deficits of that sector, what is there to be angry about? And the fact that the question of the timetable made him say that who has time to think evil about the country, that was so unnecessary. That was so unnecessary.
And this person may become our vice president.
I don't.
I mean, that is my worry.
Leadership encompasses a variety of characters.
This person,
and this doesn't fall within the standards.
Right. It will be the very lowest nadir if by any form of situation. You see, I think that this man becomes vice president of the country. It will be an insult to the Ghanaian people.
Absolutely,
seriously.
I agree. Because just look at Bawumia. Ghanaians have their issues with Bawumia.
Yeah.
But there's no way Bawumia will give such a response when he's questioned about something.
No, he won't. He will not.
He won't do that.
Not. Let's open the phone lines.
We have our issues with him, but no.
Let's activate the phone lines.
Yeah.
We would want to find out from our viewers, and we just want to narrow it down to these two people. The energy minister and the education minister. From your own experiences, from what you have seen, from what you hear, per the utterances of these people, I want to find out from you, who would be your choice for running mate for the flag-bearing leader of the New Patriotic Party, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So let's activate the phone lines. Let's open the phone lines. Let's hear from our viewers, our cherished viewers, with regards to this particular subject matter. So you know, looking at the video, I wonder why he appears so detached from reality. And even when he was on the committee, answering questions, look at his posture, his general posture, and as somebody who is in a leadership position, you should first know that you are there to serve the people.
Yeah.
And secondly, you must be held to account with decisions you make, with things that go on in your ministry, where you are minister.
Yeah.
For all the largesse that you enjoy, it is the Ghanaian people who bear the brunt.
I heard there's a caller on the line.
Right. Hello there, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Right, your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Please, my name is Moses. I'm calling you from Otinibi.
Right. Let us hear you. Who would you rather have for the NPP as their running mate?
Please. I don't know, the two of them, I don't know which one to choose, because the level of insolence.
Right, I understand. I understand, but you have to, even if we'd say that both of them are evil, you have two evils. Choose the lesser. Yes, choose the lesser of the two evils. Choose the lesser of the two evils.
I wouldn't go for Napo. Napo is too ignorant and arrogant.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you. So let's keep it straightforward.
Yeah.
Just choose. You may not even support the NPP, by the way.
Yeah.
You may support another political party, but let us just know.
Oblivious to who an ideal leader
exactly.
is.
You know the parameters.
Yeah.
You know the criteria.
Yeah.
So who would you rather have between the energy minister and the education minister?
Yeah.
Let us pick about 3 more calls because the newspaper review is coming up shortly.
On the line. Hi, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear us? Tell us where you're calling from and your name.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
Yes. Yeah, good morning.
Please tell us where you're calling from and your name.
Yeah, I'm calling from Tamale.
And what's your name?
I'm calling from Tamale.
Okay, so between Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe, popularly known as Napo, and Dr. Emmanuel Educhum, who would you prefer that the MPP chooses as their running mate?
This shouldn't be difficult. I think I'll go for Napo.
Tell us why.
Napo.
Tell us why.
Energy Minister. Yeah, the reason is, sometimes when choosing those running mates, I observe that they usually choose the arrogant people. So I'll go for Napo.
Did you hear that?
All right, so I didn't hear the explanation part, but yes.
In choosing running mates, you need to choose an arrogant person who can also display himself to the public.
All right, thank you very much for calling.
Right. 2 more calls and then we call it a morning because our guests for the review segment are already here. Phone line still very active. Let us know who you choose between the Energy Minister and the Education Minister. These two, we know for a fact that one of them would become the running mate. But who do you think would best fit or best complement Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia?
There's another caller on the line.
Right.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. If you can hear us, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, don't listen to the television. Listen to us. What is your name, please? Hello?
Please turn down your device. We beg you.
Well, we'll pick 2 more calls. 2 more calls, and please.
So I saw a post this morning that read that all men have red flags, but choose your favorite shade.
So it could be like light red.
Light red, tomato red, cherry red, whatever it is. Just choose. All right, there's another caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Mama Sewa from Blue Region, AGYEKUM.
Where are you calling from, please?
From Blue Region, AGYEKUM.
Bono region. All right, tell us, who are you choosing? Who do you prefer to be the running mates on the ticket of the NPP? Either Napo or the Education Minister?
That Napo guy can help Ghana. He can be a running mate.
Why?
Oh, he's ignorant and arrogant.
So you'd rather go for the Education Minister?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for calling.
One more call. One more call. One more call. One more call, and then we call it a morning.
All right, there's a last call on the line. Hi, good morning.
Hello?
Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Hamza Mohammed calling from Nalerigu, North East Regional Capital.
Hey, Nalerigu. How are the people in Nalerigu?
Everybody is doing well here.
Right.
Your side.
Right. Great. Great. Who would you rather have as running mates to the leader of the NPP? And why?
I'll go for Education Minister.
Why?
Why?
To me, he's very humble.
Right.
And he's more appealing to the masses. Looking at Napo is somebody I like so much. But I think Education Minister would be good for the Vice President.
Right. Thank you very much. I think that should be all for the calls. And
we've heard from our viewers.
Yes, and the issue about humility. You know, I'm really disappointed that we've not been able to play that video. The Education Minister was here. He was interviewed by
Pan-African.
Yes, he was interviewed by Comrade Pratt, and the issue about the running mate was thrown to him, and the answer he gave impressed me.
Maybe we can play that after we have signed out.
I'll paraphrase what he said. What he said was that he comes from a home where his parents never had the opportunity to go to school. Both of his parents are illiterates. Now, he's had the opportunity to go to school, had the opportunity to travel abroad. Then the president called on him to come and head the education ministry. He came, he's done what he can do. If he has to rise again to that high mantle of leadership of vice president or of running mate, that is something he would do gleefully and ensure that he brings about policies that would inure to the benefit of the people. And he's so high on education that he would want to bring out policies that would influence the education sector. I've heard him answer questions in relation to the challenges of the free senior high school. He gave an excellent answer, I think on one occasion, even in relation to the school feeding program and the issues that have arisen. He was like, look, even when you are managing your home, you're just a small home, issues come up. So imagine feeding 1.2 million children. Of course, then you're going to have challenges. So he did not run away from the fact that there are challenges, but also he acknowledged the fact that work ought to be done to address these challenges. He didn't run away from it.
No, the point is he acknowledged that there were challenges.
There were issues.
Which was absolutely brilliant.
Yes. So he acknowledged that there were issues. So I'm not a member of the NPP. I'm no member of any political party. I don't have a card of...
Yeah, we are not card-bearing members.
Of any political party, but we are people of common sense and would want people who have our interest
common
at heart.
Sense and conviction.
If the NPP would want somebody to partner the vice president, already there are issues with its political party. Please don't compound your woes.
But I think it's overdue that the NPP comes up with their
next month, they say. So we are hoping that...
I mean, even if you bring it in November,
next month they say. So we are hoping that by next month the flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will come out with his choice. We hope that he doesn't surprise us. We hope that he doesn't surprise us. Napo will be a surprise for me. I don't know about you. It will be a surprise. It will be a huge surprise.
In this political dispensation, nothing is a surprise to me. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Thank you very much. The newspaper review segment of the show is coming up shortly. I already see Alhaji ABA Fusaini, a very handsome, young politician.
All right, it's always a pleasure. It's always an honor to serve you here on the show. This is still Good Morning Africa. The newspaper review segment is up next. My name is AGYEKUM, and I did this with...
before we part ways, remember that no matter how handsome you are, you must still bath. No matter how handsome you are, you must still bath.
Who's punchline is that?
Who else? The venerable Alhaji ABA Fusaini is.
All right, it's a pleasure, guys. See you.